Pakistan devised the Taliban's return to the fray in its bid to usurp the abundant resources of Afghanistan and to further its strategic depth policy towards the war-torn country. However, it has been pettishly served a raw deal by the Taliban, which is now making wide strides to forge closer ties with Qatar and Turkey by putting its ties with Pakistan on the back burner. What now comes as an insult to injury is the EU's renewed call for reconsidering the bloc's trading ties with Pakistan owing to Islamabad's brazen support to the Taliban. Essentially, the blood and sweat that Pakistan put into reviving the Taliban all these years have gone down the drain within a month of the Taliban's assumption to power. Hi and welcome. You're watching TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I am your host Piyush, and in this video I will tell you how Pakistan is all set to die a slow and painful death as its major trading partner, the European Union, is closing its markets owing to Islamabad's unabated support to the terror group. So let's begin. Pakistan's adventurism in Kabul has left its fate hanging in the balance as the European powers now increasingly look forward to coming down heavily on their trade ties with the South Asian country. As reported by the news agency ANI, the European Union has called for an immediate reassessment of the EU-Pakistan trade regime that was granted back in January 2014. Pakistan's brazen support to the Taliban in Afghanistan and its continued violation of human rights in its territories are believed to be the two major factors behind the EU's renewed calls for a stringent trade policy towards Pakistan. The EU and Pakistan hammered out a trade agreement in 2014 that bestowed Pakistan with Generalized System of Preference GSP Plus status. The GSP Plus status allowed Pakistani goods to enter the bloc with an exemption to import duties. Pakistan bagged tremendous trade opportunities after reaching the arrangement with the EU, whose exports to the bloc have seen a rise of whopping 65% in the past 6 years. As per the reports, the EU is one of Pakistan's most important trading partners, with accounting for 14.3% of Pakistan's total trade in 2020 and absorbing 28% of country's exports, majorly in textile and clothing sector. In return for all these hefty economic benefits and enormous trade opportunities, Pakistan was asked to ratify and effectively implement 27 core international conventions on human and labor rights, environmental protection, and good governance. Instead, Pakistan surreptitiously kept enforcing its draconian blasphemy laws, upped its violation of fundamental human rights, and brazenly threw its weight behind the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. Last year, the EU's third Biennial Assessment of GSP revealed that Pakistan enjoyed the perks of its special trade relationship with the bloc while keeping itself involved in grave violations of human rights simultaneously. The report underlined how the blasphemy law in Pakistan has disproportionately been used to exploit minorities and to incite harassment and violence against the accused. This led to the appeals to the European Commission and the European External Action Service (EEAS) to immediately review Pakistan's eligibility for GSP Plus status in the light of current events. Now, as Taliban ensconces itself in Afghanistan with covert support from Islamabad, the EU seems determined to punish Pakistan with its trade sanctions and stringent economic policies. The Taliban's return to the fray has been widely condemned by the European leaders that even risk brightening the close relationship between the US and Europe. However, Pakistan's role in resuscitating the Taliban's tyranny is largely overlooked by the Western media and policy makers. However, it seems that the European Union has had enough of Pakistan's menace now. Pakistan thought of usurping Afghanistan's abundant natural resources through the Taliban and the vast network of its proxies operating on Afghan soil. However, it has merely remained Pakistan's wishful thinking so far. The Taliban is now at the helm of affairs in Afghanistan and is carrying out wide strides to forge closer strategic ties with Qatar, Turkey, and China. The fact that all these nations have deeper pockets than Pakistan is more than enough reason for Taliban to put its ties with Pakistan on the back burner. Essentially, Pakistan itself is living on tenterhooks owing to its fragile economy, and the Taliban may have no qualms in ditching it soon. And now, the European Union's call for action against Pakistan has added insult to its injury in incredible proportions. Its Taliban bet has gone bust spectacularly, and it's all set to pay a dear price for its unwarranted venture in Afghanistan.